Welcome to this week's broadcast at Eagle 7 News.
Well, it's what everyone is talking about. After a harsh winter, spring is here, and hopefully to stay. More on that to come.
And the votes are in. An exclusive interview with our new student body president and vice president. I'm Seth Johnson.
And I'm Emily Linden. Your campus news starts right now. I hope you all exercised your right to vote this week, because the votes are in.
We sat down with the newly elected student body president, Matthew Bauman, and his vice president, Natasha Chernyavsky, to talk about their election journey. The talk on campus this week has been all about the student government elections. With the elections concluding on Wednesday, the votes were counted, and Matthew and Natasha were named the winners. The past 2 weeks have been very busy, and these two, Matthew and Natasha, have had many ideas for what they want to accomplish next year. One idea they are both very excited for is renovating the island.
So we want to completely redo the island in adding a better beachfront, a better volleyball court, putting a net up along the side so you don't have to go wade into the lake to get your volleyball. And we think it'd be really cool to open the chapel as well and have that be available for students.
We look forward to seeing what they are able to accomplish in their term as president and vice president. Well, the snow has been quickly melting, and it's starting to feel like spring is finally here. Over to Mark Myers for more on how students have been enjoying the sun.
Thanks, Emily. Well, as you can see here, it looks like that spring is finally around to stay. We're enjoying a high of 47 degrees right now. We're going to drop back down into the low 40s, a high 30. We have a high of 39, as you can see, on Saturday, but the sun will be out. The rest of the week, it's going to be kind of cloudy, kind of sparse clouds, but it will be highs in the high 40s, all the way up to 57 degrees. Finally, I can break out my khaki shorts, and I personally cannot wait for more of that to happen. And we can tell by the amount of people outside, the weather has been great. UNW students have been taking advantage of these sunny, warm days this past week by running around on campus, setting up their hammocks and sleeping in there, and most obviously of all the sporting events that we have back on campus. And it's looking like this bitter cold might finally be gone for good. Anderson Bazile Jr., I know that you're talking about baseball. How'd they do this past week back on their home field?
Yeah, that's right, Mark. UNW athletics have taken full advantage of the nice spring weather. Both softball and baseball have been in full swing this week on campus. Eagles baseball split their doubleheader with Augsburg on Tuesday, highlighted by a couple of home runs from Gurin Safranik and Carlton Lindo. They then fell to McAllister College Wednesday, but the squad will be back in action this afternoon against Martin Luther. UNW softball dropped their doubleheader to the crosstown rival Bethel Royals on Tuesday. They will head out east to Northland College for the doubleheader tomorrow afternoon. Men's lacrosse dominated North Central Wednesday night in their 30-6 victory. Women's lacrosse will be back in action tonight against Cornell College, at 7 p.m. on Reynolds Field. Seth, back to you.
And March Madness is in full swing. If your bracket isn't very good, don't be discouraged. There's actually more of a chance of you getting hit by lightning twice on the same day than having a perfect bracket. 1 in 9 quintillion is, I think, what they said. That is 9 followed by 18 zeros. Those are the odds of picking the perfect March Madness bracket. We took to the campus to see how the students' brackets are faring so far.
With March Madness in full swing and only one perfect bracket left in the country, we decided to catch up with students right here in the Billy to see how their brackets were doing. How is your bracket doing for March Madness?
Well, it's at 4% last time I checked.
How are your March Madness brackets going?
I'm doing okay so far. I have 7 out of 8 of the Elite 8 right, so that's pretty neat.
Really good. I know more than everybody else, so I do really, really well in my brackets.
I've been seeing a lot of guys hiding their March Madness phones and laptops in classes, like underneath, like some students I know. Cody, I'm looking at you, fam. Anyway.
Who do you have winning it all?
Texas Tech.
Virginia is overcoming the collapse of last year in the last 6 years and will win this year's tournament against Gonzaga, if you're curious.
Are you guys participating in any of the activities since we're hosting the Final Four here in Minneapolis?
I haven't decided yet, actually. There's a good possibility.
No.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't heard too much about the events.
Even though the Final Four is taking place right here in Minneapolis, there are many people on campus that do and don't care about March Madness. Personally, I'm hoping to see Duke win it all this year. For Eagle 7 News, I'm Morgan Tolley.
I know personally my bracket isn't doing too hot this year, a whopping 55.4% actually. But regardless, I still enjoy watching the competition of every game. And I think I'm with Morgan in saying, go Duke.
With the 516 Film Festival taking place in a few weeks, we have caught up with Courtney White and Carson Mithelman. Courtney has a film in the festival titled On the Inside that she wrote and directed and is up for multiple awards, including Best Drama and Best Cinematography. Carson has worked behind the scenes to ensure that the festival runs smoothly, as well as giving students, alumni, and anybody else who attends a cinematic experience they will not forget.
With this film, we really focused on each element and like the details of everything. So like production design and even like music and color and like everything we really put a lot of like time and effort into. And so I think that's one of the biggest things is like making sure that you're paying attention to each kind of like element in the filmmaking process, because then it like comes together well.
Something else that you're going to be seeing at this year's festival that might be different in years past is a lot of thrillers and suspense films have been chosen to be in the drama category. In the years past, it's been more like narrative dramatic films, but this year we're going, I wouldn't say darker, but we just have some film submissions that took a darker route and they got accepted into this festival, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out at the festival. They're really great films, and I'm super excited for people to see what we have in store for them.